Hello and welcome to another episode of Angry Bird Lady. I'm Days, your homeschooling mom from South Africa, and today we are diving headfirst into MK Ultra. MK Ultra, the CIA's unhinged brain-bending scheme that might have snagged stars like Michael Jackson, Justin Bieber, and Kanye West. Oh, and there's this Canadian trainer, Harley Pasternak, popping up like a dodgy TikTok trend. Is he a gym bro or Dr. Zombieland? Grab a thick cook because we are going deep. Truth, sarcasm, and Hollywood horror. MK Ultra's no-ghost story. It's real and it's grim. Picture the CIA in 1953 freaking out over Soviet mind control. The ethics are programmed to turn people into puppets with LSD, electroshock, and hypnosis. Why? Because Cold War paranoia. But did it stop at spies or did it hit Hollywood? Let us unpack this whole saga. MK Ultra wasn't one experiment, it was a buffet of crazy. From 1953 to 1973, the CIA dosed prisoners, mental patients, even barflies with zero consent. Hypnosis, sensory deprivation, psychic driving. That is blasting tapes to rewire your brain, like a Jay-Z Taxi playlist from hell.
It was the most secret program ever conducted by the CIA in the United States. Patients at psychiatric hospitals, prisoners in federal institutions, and even people in the public were given drugs without their awareness or consent and experimented upon.
They hit 149 groups, says their own declassified docs. Check CIA.gov if you're curious. Consent, well, that's for losers. They wrote in 80 spots: universities, hospitals, even brothels. Ethics, yeeted into orbit. The ringleader, Sidney Gottlieb, a chemist who snagged the world's LSD stash for $240,000, which would be millions now. The invoice probably read drugs to fry minds. He dosed soldiers, civilians, even CIA suits chasing a puppet code. It's so wild, it inspired Stranger Things. Yep, 11's lab vibes came from this lunacy. Netflix didn't make that up. The CIA's experiments are crazy any demagogue. By 1973, CIA boss Richard Helms panicked and torched most of the files, like my kid losing his chores list. But in 1975, the Church Committee and Rockefeller Commission spilled the beans, and by 1977, 20,000 surviving docs hit via Freedom of Information requests. Budgets, test logs, uni lists proved the CIA played God with no chill. I mean, it's a convenient street fest, right? Makes you wonder what is still hiding. So this isn't just tinfoil hat vibes. MK Ultras crushed real people. Take Esther Schrier, a Canadian mom who sought help for postpartum depression in the 60s at Allen Memorial Institute. She wanted hope. They gave her MK Ultras, torture spa, 30 days in a drug coma, 29 electroshock zaps, and depatterning, smashing her brain to rebuild it.
Depatterning is a use of electroshock treatment in a totally different way, in which instead of giving the shocks, say, 2 or 3 times a week, they're given 2 or 3 times a day for 3 or 4 weeks, reducing the patient to a sort of animal, vegetable state, from which it's hoped that they would recover in a more healthy state of mind. It didn't work.
She was left a shell, barely knowing her own kids. Her son, Lloyd, born on September 27, 1960, was in utero during this hell. He's still chasing answers, health wrecked, family broken. Canada's Dr. Donald Ewan Cameron ran this nightmare, thinking he'd cure folks by erasing them. In the 90s, Canada's tossed $100,000 at 77 victims, like Esther. No apology, just shut up money. Lloyd's fight makes me want to hug my son and glare at every lab coat. Then there's Frank Olson, a CIA biochemist dosed with LSD in 1953. No warning, no consent. Days later, on November 28, he's falling from a 10th floor window in New York. Suicide? Sure, like people in South Africa forget to braai. His family got $750,000 in 1975, but no guilt was admitted. Netflix Wormwood digs into Olson. It's less oops and more we tossed our guy. Esther and Frank weren't the only ones. 127 Canadians got Cameron's deluxe horror, and MK Ultra hit Australia, Germany, Japan. No borders, no guestbook, just trash lives.
It had a great effect on my life. I mean, I have been sick before, and I've had treatment, but there were never any experience I had was like that I had in '59.
I've never been able to sleep without medication since the sleep treatment. I went through years and years and years of severe depressions. I dream about it. All my waking hours, I think about it. It's eating me up. It really is.
Now for the juicy bits. Hollywood's puppet show. Fame's a meat grinder, especially for kids. And some say MK Ultra, or its rumored cousin, Project Monarch, turns stars into drones. Monarch is all about trauma splitting minds. There's no hot proof for this, but Hollywood's dirtier than a festival. Porta party. Michael Jackson, Justin Bieber, Kanye West, plus maybe Brittany Murphy and Aaron Carter. They've got a creepy gym bro in common. Harley Pasternak. Is he a trainer or a handler? My gut saying the latter. The king of pop, Michael Jackson. Moonwalking legend, was famous at 5 with the Jackson 5. Pressure perfect for control. By the 90s, he's paranoid, singing about traps and fighting Sony. His 2002 rant against exec Tommy Mottola, calling him devilish for robbing black artists, got him labeled Wacko Jacko, real subtle media.
Sony, Tommy Mottola. Tommy Mottola is the president of the record division. He is a mean, he's a racist, and he's very, very, very devilish.
And they didn't stop there. Unproven predator smears in 1993 and 2005, despite court wins, buried him, dead at 50 in 2009, propofol overdose. Just a sleep aid, right? Or did he know too much? Michael Jackson's death, comeback stress, and the Dr. Conrad Murray manslaughter rap Don't Scream accident. Justin Bieber, Canada's pop cherub, hit fame at 13. A child star, crucible ripe for strings. By 2013, he's a mess. DUIs, egg throwing, that monkey drama, hormones, or is he a drone glitching? Harley trained him then, same guy Kanye called out. Justin's 2020 Instagram lives shade industry lies. They twist everything. Now he's sober, faithful, dodging the trap, but the media's stuck on crazy, like it's their job. There's also the Disney rumors, MK Ultra grooming, hovers here. Britney Spears, Amanda Bynes, Disney graduates, they all had breakdowns. Harley trained Brittany too. X calls it a pipeline. Groom kids to break them, control them. Or fame is just poison. You can pick either one.
Why are you here? You already know. You just want money. Money, 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 money. Money, get out of here, bro. Money. All you want, don't care about you. All you want is money. Go, get out of here. All you guys want is money. Money, 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 money. Money, money.
Kanye West, who'd outtalk a spaceship, hit fame in his 20s. Still raw for pressure. 2016, he rants about Google lies, cancels his tour, then bam, UCLA hospital. He told Candace Owens in 2022 he was misdiagnosed with bipolar, drugged to hush him. Harley's text from that year, I'll institutionalize you, medicate you to Zombieland. Kanye says that Harley was there for his 26th breakdown on November 21st. The media's crazy label sticks like glue. UCLA's got a 1960s MK Ultra tie. Shrink Louis Jolion West. It's no proof it's a control hub, but ex-users eat it up. Harley's client list is a red flag parade. Brittany Murphy died December 20, 2009 at age 32. Pneumonia, they said, but she was ranting about being watched. Aaron Carter gone November 5, 2022 at 34, drowned after wild tweets about surveillance. Both Harleys, both spooked, both dead too soon. The worst gym luck ever or something darker. Another Harley client that I found, Mac Miller. He overdosed in 2018. This just screams pattern and my senses are tingling. I'm no coroner, but that's a sketchy Rolodex. Harley is the glue. Fact, he worked for Canada's Department of National Defence, researching drugs like ephedrine, same folks who funded MK Ultra. Just a trainer, sure. He bragged about using drugs not governed by civilian laws on a podcast. Totally chill, bro.
And the area that I was interested in was how drugs and food affect muscular performance. And
when you say drugs, are that like performance-enhancing drugs, or are they
all
just
kinds of drugs?
Oh, right. Okay.
So working for the military, I wasn't governed by the same laws that the typical person was. So I could look at the impact of certain drugs that are not everyday things. So we looked at a drug called modafinil, which was for narcoleptics. So if you give a soldier this drug, how long could they stay awake for without having any health detriment?
Used now as one of these brain drugs. I've heard the name before somewhere.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. Modafinil, it will keep you awake, but it's not a stimulant.
Really?
So if a special forces person has to stay awake for 3 nights waiting for the right opportunity to do whatever they have to do, we could give them modafinil and it would keep them alert. I did research on a drug called acetazolamide, which is for use at high altitude.
Then let's have a conversation. But you ain't gonna send Harley Pasternak, Puff Daddy, Meek Mills, Kim Kardashian, none of the usual suspects and get me to stop talking. You're going to have to take my life. And by the way, and if you take my life, there's gonna be some college kid, some young Ye, some young Pac that's gonna even go harder. Y'all thought George Floyd was gonna send it up. If you took my life right now, you're gonna see something you never saw. So we might as well have a conversation.
His text to Kanye reported by Page 6 in 2022. They aren't fake. Zombieland forever. I mean, I don't have a trainer, but he would probably just tell me to do more squats, not go to Zombieland. More Harley weirdness. He trained Ariana Grande, Jessica Simpson, Kim Kardashian. No deaths there, but the body count, Murphy, Carter, Miller raises eyebrows for me. Expos call him a handler, a drugging or scoring stars for elites. Or maybe he's just a jerk with a god complex. Then there's the voodoo donuts rumor. Some ex-randos tie Harley to a Portland shop linked to MK Ultra because donuts. Kanye said voodoo once. The internet fever dreams, but I love the chaos. Alright, my crew, let's pause. What's your take? Have you seen any celebs glitching out? MJ, Kanye, someone else? Drop your wildest Hollywood theories below. I'll read them all, unless you're on about flat earth. Then my son's space brain makes me want to riot. So here's what grinds my gears. Why is every loud store crazy? MJ calls out Sony, nuts.
Nuts.
Bieber fights paparazzi, unhinged.
Unhinged.
Kanye rants about control, loony.
Loony.
It must be tough typing sane by mistake. It's like a macro. A rebel get buried. MJ's 2002 Sony lawsuit, real. Bieber's 2021 trauma posts, raw. Kanye's contact grabs, ballad. Yet headlines scream, meltdown, almost like someone wants them ignored. Old school conspiracy heads point to Operation Mockingbird, CIA rigging media narratives declassified in the 70s. It explains the crazy pile on, or maybe tabloids just chase clicks. Either way, it's fishy. Alright, so let's wrap this up. What is the deal? MK Ultra ran 1953 to 1973. Shredding lives, Esther Schreier's lost her soul, Frank Olson, his life. Globally, who knows how many stars like MJ, Bieber, Kanye, Murphy, Carter, Pawns, or Loudmouth. Harley's texts, military drug, paused, and dead clients scream shady, but a CIA mastermind, leaning pushy Jim Bro. But his resume is a crisis scene, and who even knows these days? Hollywood secrets, young fans told, it's a grinder, and MK Ultra's proof power plays dirty to stay hidden. It's not just history, MK Ultra's old, but control is new. Your phone's algorithm reading your mind, ads for that thing you just whispered about or thought about. Not CIA, but maybe half CIA. Power's gone digital, less LSD, more data. Same game, keep us all tame. Oh, and Operation Paperclip, the CIA hired Nazi scientists post-World War II to spark this madness. But more on that later. I think my brain has been MK Ultra'd after all of this research on this madness. So according to the big wigs and the official documents, MK Ultra's a ghost. It was real once, but I think it's still haunting. Or is Hollywood just its own zombie land? Do your own research, trust your gut, not the noise. That's all for today, folks. Michael Jackson, Bieber, Kanye, they're human, broken, maybe targeted. Harley, shady, not Satan, but I would keep my eye on him if I was you. MK Ultra, real enough to make you side-eye. Comment below, share with your most paranoid mates, smash that like, subscribe, and ring the bell so YouTube doesn't bury me like a CIA file. Stay curious, watch your trainer, and I'll catch you guys next time.